Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of This Could Get Weird. I am Adam Stone, as always. Time to do a little housekeeping. Past couple of months, we've been down. Adam B's had a few things going on in his life, and, I can't blame him. Don't want to get into the details, but, yeah, it's been kind of hard to get a hold of him, and, things like that, life gets in the way, and I'm trying to move on as much as we can. The podcast isn't done. We're just kind of in one of those moments of trying to get things taken care of and in personal lives and stuff like that, and plus the holidays are coming up, and it's just a big mess. So, but earlier today, I got with Kale Epperson of PIO, and this episode, we're going to do something a little different. We're kind of a simulcast episode, if you will. He recorded on his phone, and I recorded on my Zoom H1, and we went to one of our locations to, just kind of goof around and get a few things, and decided to do kind of an impromptu EVP podcast session, and that's the result of this, and I'm going to present it as raw as possible so you, the listener, can listen along. And if you hear anything, say something, leave a comment below or what have you. And, it's just something fun to do. You can, kind of a play along type thing, as Cal and I just discuss random things. Like I said, it's impromptu. We didn't prepare for it. And, just have fun. If you hear something that we don't, go ahead, let us know. And as always, thank you for listening. So here we go. Enjoy. And we are rolling.
Reaching beyond the borders into the unknown. Hello, everyone. This is Kale Epperson, and I am with Adam Stone. And we're actually live at a haunted location. I can't give you the name of the location. This is the first time we ever done anything like this. But we actually just came to the site to pick up some gear that got left behind. And we're kind of doing a daytime investigation. And we're just sitting here talking. And I thought, hey, let's go ahead and just do a podcast. So I'm recording this live off my cell phone. So keep your ears open. You might hear EVPs or movement. So this is going to be like an active podcast / investigation. And we're going to be sharing this podcast with Adam's show. This Could Get Weird. And we're just going to sit here and just kind of BS a little bit at a haunted location.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, we are at a haunted location, and, this could get weird.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've been down here, for the past hour and a half, and God, so far we've had, we've heard shuffling, we've heard voices. And
well, we were hearing a voice,
yeah.
We just got here, and it sounded like a man, like he was right next to me, whispering to me. So hopefully on the recorder we picked that up.
Yeah.
And then the whistling upstairs.
Yeah.
The location that we're at, it's 3 levels. Actually, it's 2 levels with a basement, and
of course, we're in the basement, the creepiest part of the whole place.
Yeah, the creepiest spot when we're doing a podcast. So, one thing that me and Adam were talking about just a little bit ago was ghost hunters and spiritualists and different people that are in the field that want to cross spirits over, and we were just kind of just BSing about it and if we thought it was appropriate or not. I don't know. I just don't think it's my place in this life to help spirits cross over.
Right.
I mean, it's just not my deal.
Yeah, when it comes to things like that, maybe they want to be there. You don't know. I mean, now they could have been left over from the previous family. That's another thing, and that family's moved on, and maybe they're just kind of hanging out.
Yeah, it's hard to say why ghosts and spirits hang out. Is it because they're watching over the property, or do they not know where to go, or I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. I mean, most of the time you think of spirits staying over, they're watching over someone or something else. Now, occasionally you might hear us pausing for a little bit because we may hear something. Like I said, we're at an active haunted location. So if you're listening to this, kind of bear with us if you hear us pause because something may happen. We do have paranormal equipment that is deployed, so we might get a little excited if a K2 meter goes off or a ghost meter or something.
Yeah, we were just running the spirit box, and I have it in a Faraday pouch, and that blocks out all radio signal whatsoever. Now, some people theorize the reason if you do that, you're going to get cleaner EVPs. And now we've used it at other locations, and it totally blocks the signal off just like it's supposed to do. You can put a cell phone in this thing, and you will not get any signal whatsoever. But we have had it locked up, sealed away in the pouch, and we have gotten voices that come through. It's the same voice over and over again.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, at first I was skeptical about it because I was like, well, if it's going to block out radio signals, then it's going to block out a spirit.
Yeah.
So why would I use that? And that one night, lo and behold, a voice started coming through.
Oh, this weekend, folks,
wow.
If you listen to my last podcast on creepy in equipment, you can tell how excited I was about that investigation. We went back and. Folks, it's still creepy. Absolutely creepy. We had a lot of activity that night. The spirit box, we asked the question of, it was just me, Adam, and one of our investigators, and we asked the question of, how many people do you see in this hallway with black shirts on? Now, at this time with the team, we all split up. The other part of the team went to a different level. So there was just 3 of us on this level. And that spirit box with the Faraday cage, it said 3.
Plain as day.
Plain as day. We were like, whoa. It was the craziest thing. The
said, get out. Leave.
Told us to leave.
Yeah, did not want us there.
Oh, yeah, it was nuts. We had a couple guests that joined with us on the investigation, and one of them was a soldier. And the craziest thing that the odd list said soldier, and then it said his first name. Yeah. That blew me out of the water.
It was a pretty strong signal, too. It's like the obvious, it's hard to tell sometimes.
Yeah, because it seems like it's always hit and miss. I always like to say the obvious is like a expensive speaking spell, and it's just like any other equipment you'll take on an investigation. You don't know what a spirit or a ghost is going to use. I mean, currently in the space we got, I got a ghost meter set up. I got a K2 set up. We got a ghost light, which is just a fisherman's light. The ghost has to tap on the bottom to light it up. There's trigger items in this place. We got a chair in the corner, and we got it chalked off so if it moves on its own, we know if there's a spirit. Oh, I just noticed it just got cold in here. Definitely got cold. Like I said, folks, we're live at a haunted location, so you have to kind of bear with us. It's kind of like an online live podcast during a real investigation. The baseline temperature was like 63, 64 when we got in here, and the temps dropped down to 57.9. Now, just note for everybody, we're doing a daytime investigation. The outside temperature is in the 70s. So, yes, in the basement it's going to be colder, but like I said, originally when we got in here, it was 64. Now it's down to the 50s. And it's almost 5 o'clock p.m. So
and the sun is still up.
Sun is up.
Now, I've got my recorder going, and I'm live listening to it, so I can hear anything and everything, and it is highly sensitive. Now, you know what? Let's change it up a little bit, dude. Maybe we can do something like this. If there are any spirits here, we are recording right now for something that we can say to the world. How about we ask you a question, and you could say something and the whole world will hear it? Can you tell your name to the audience? Where are you from originally?
Getting earringy.
Are you causing that to Kale?
And for the audience, keep in mind, some spiritualists believe that earringing is because the energy is picked up from spirits.
How old are you?
Now, if the audience members, if you hear an EVP or a strange noise or something that we may have missed, make sure you comment below down on my YouTube page underneath the video. But hey, Kale, at such and such time, I heard an EVP of a person. Same thing on my Facebook page. I'll have this posted up. So if you hear anything, or even on Adam's podcast, if you hear anything, note it down, and that way we can go back and check on it later because we may miss it.
Yeah, noting to the audience, if you hear some shuffling, it's probably me passing the recorder and the cable bouncing. It's like I said, it's a highly sensitive recorder with a microphone at the top, and you might hear the plastic creaking every so often.
And this is during the day. We normally investigate at night, but one thing to keep in mind if you're new to the paranormal field, new into ghost hunting, is that you can ghost hunt at any time. You can ghost hunt during the day, at night. Most of the time we investigate at night because there's no noise contamination. Everything's real quiet. And you notice now during the recording, you're going to hear cars passing by. But
a train track nearby too.
Yeah, you might hear the train go by. Yeah, if there are spirits here, like I said, we're recording live for a podcast, and it'll be on the radio. You want to tell the audience what your name is? That was me. Now, if you do make a noise, you may hear me and Adam saying that was me, or that was me making that noise. We call that tagging or marking the recording, so that way if we do get an EVP or a strange noise, we know if it's us making it or not. Can you tell the audience what the year is? Do you work here? I don't know, the audience is wondering, gosh, where are you guys at? We need to know where you guys are at. Well, just kind of, we have different clients and, a lot of businesses, a lot of homes, they may not want, people to know that their businesses or homes are haunted. The only thing I can really give you is that we're at a historical location, and it was made back in the 1800s. And the place that we're at, we do have permission to be here. The owner gave us the keys, so we're good to go to be here. But I think our last investigation was really good.
Yeah.
I mean, we went up on that third level, and I tell you what, it was Creepsville up there.
Yeah, definitely. It was something else. That third level really got to me for some reason. I don't know what it was.
Well, the energy was just weird that night anyway. Because
Yeah.
there were storms brewing up, and even though the storms weren't where we're at, but we were like on the tail end of it. We didn't get any rain or lightning or thunder, but there was a lot of wind and the atmosphere was supercharged. But that third level, I don't know, it creeped me out.
It kicked in my fight or flight instinct.
Yeah.
and I wanted to fly.
Yeah, you feel like you wanted to run out of it.
Yeah.
Even though, rule number one, you don't run.
Never run.
If the audience hears me sniffling, it's because we're in this basement area and it's a little bit dusty.
Yeah, I'm just getting over allergy attack from yesterday.
Oh
Good
my
God.
gosh, the allergies are killing me. My poor audience has to listen to me talk in a soda can.
No, I understand. Just because the seasons around here, because we're in Oklahoma, they don't know what they want to be because we're so far south, and we're closer probably than most of you to the equator, unless you're in Texas and Mexico and South America and whatnot. But I don't know, the further south it gets, the warmer the weather is, and that's how it is around here. We might get extreme cold one week and extreme warm the other.
Yeah.
And believe me, people, it's happened. We've had a couple of years ago around here. It was we've had a tornado, then a snowstorm, and God knows what else, all within like a 2-week period.
I'm sensing movement back here off to the left of me.
Hello, you got anything to say? Car went by, you could see the light. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Hello, are you back there? You can come talk to us. You don't have to be shy.
I'm hearing something, but I think it's an animal.
Yeah.
Like a pigeon or something.
I could faintly hear something. So, have to review that audio.
And one thing, when we do our ghost investigations, we don't immediately assume it's a ghost or a spirit. We try to debunk. The place that we're at, like I said, it's an old building, built back in the 1800s, and I'm sure there's probably critters and mice and raccoons and whatever, birds. But I find it amazing. I've been on investigations with other people, and they hear any noise, and immediately it's got to be a ghost. It's got to be a spirit.
Yep.
And, you have to debunk. You have to research. You can't just assume anything's a ghost. And when you're in a location like this, your instincts kick in. So when you hear something, your body's telling you, get out. You're scared. And that's just to keep you from getting hurt. Is there anyone near us? I thought I heard something.
Yeah.
Hello? I heard that.
Yeah, the thump.
A thump.
Hello? Can you do that again?
Car driving by. Now, just as a note for the audience, it's possible the bump was probably just a building settling. It's a good possibility.
It's an old building. Those are my feet.
And people wonder, like, okay, well, how can you tell if it's a building or if it's a ghost doing it? Well, most of the time, if it's the building settling, it's going to be consistent. Old buildings creak, they make bumps, they make noises. The easiest way to tell if it's a ghost or not, you ask them to do something and see if you get a response back. So one thing I'm going to do, see if I can find something to knock on here.
There we go.
We're going to do what we call a knock test. And the idea is, just in case the ghost or spirit can't see us, they might be able to hear us. So if a ghost is in another room and they can hear us talking or making noise, we can actually do a knock test to try to get them to come closer. So I will knock twice, and the theory is that it's supposed to let ghosts know where I'm at. And then we wait for a response back and see if they knock back twice. And if they knock back twice, we'll see if we can get them to come closer. I've done this several times in the field. Most of the time it's a negative response. I think only one time where I actually had something knocked back consistently. So I'm going to start off here. If there is anybody here that can't see me but you can hear me, I'm going to knock twice to let you know where I'm at. Can you knock back twice so I know where you're at in the building? So this is me. Tag my stomach. Negative response.
Negative response.
I'm going to try it again. If you can hear me, I'm going to knock twice to let you know where I'm at. Can you knock back twice so I know where you're at in the building? This is me. Car driving by, and a negative response.
Negative.
Time is 5 o'clock.
How about it? What time is it to you? Car passing by.
Now, one thing I'm sure you folks heard me say was tag my stomach. And, on investigations, most of the time if your stomach growls or whatever, you're with the public or something, people are not going to hear it. But when you're sitting down trying to be quiet and your body makes a rumble of some sort, we still tag it. It sounds goofy, but it's just noted for the recorder. You want to make sure that grumbling isn't like a growl or something.
Uh-huh.
Well, I tell you what, the investigation was pretty wild.
Yeah.
It was nuts. I worked a 12-hour shift that day and did the ghost hunt that night. The next day I was exhausted. I was completely out of it.
A lot of times after these investigations, we get what's like a para-hangover.
Yeah.
And God, those are the worst.
Oh yeah, it makes a long day, especially when you're going to go back in the next day to work.
Drains you. It just drains all the energy out of you, putting all this effort and energy into what you're doing. And then Lord knows what else is, I don't know, because you're so tense the entire time. And it's just, you just feel tired and lethargic.
Yeah. Check folks out how long we've been going. Wow, 22 minutes? Does it seem like we've been going that long?
Not really.
Oh, I got lightheaded. Oh, really lightheaded. It's kind of weird. Maybe I just got up too quick.
Possibly, yeah. You have been sitting in the same place for 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah. It's a ghost. He's affecting me. And that's another thing, people, that surprise me. They'll go on a ghost investigation and they immediately assume, well, if I'm feeling ill, it's because of the ghost. Well, nay. I do believe your body can be receptive to stuff like that, but still you got to debunk.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been sitting here for a while, and me getting up quick, that probably made me lightheaded. There's my belly quit growling. It's not growling because I'm hungry. It's growling for eating that big meal.
Yeah, we had a good burger earlier.
I just saw movement on the outside.
That's you out there?
You want to come in and talk to us?
We are recording for radio.
And one thing, note for the audience, there's a lot of shadow play here.
Yeah.
And this stuff we've noted before is shadow movement, and there's nothing that could be causing the shadow whatsoever. So we're just sitting in this room, and you'll see a shadow walk past the doorway, and you don't know if it's your mind playing tricks on you or your eyes doing weird stuff. But as long as I've been at this location, it's definitely something. We got a chair over here. If you want to move it, you can. Can you rock it back and forth or just move it from side to side? We also got this ghost light over here. You can turn it on. We got a ghost meter to the left of me. If you get near it, you can set it off. K2 meter, you can set it off. That was me. Well, as an equipment tech, Adam, what do you think about all the new devices coming out for ghost hunting?
Pretty incredible stuff. I mean, things like they got a new Ovilus coming out with the touch screen, and let's see, with the POV glasses, they're kind of interesting. Those would be cool for something. Things like that. I'm looking forward to getting me in the SB11 Spirit box because it's a dual sweep. So you have two channels going at the same time, and also you can have them go two different directions, two different frequencies, two different stations, and like as low as like 50 milliseconds it will scan through radio stations. You can turn the antenna off. There's actually a built-in temperature meter, kind of like on your Ovilus. Mm-hmm. Little things like that. I mean, it's for $150, that ain't bad.
No, it's not bad. Now, I think the new Ovilus 4 is still running about $400.
Yeah.
So, of course, my Ovilus 3, it cost $300 when I bought it. So.
Yeah.
All these new gadgets. And, when we talked before about equipment, people starting off, you don't have to have all the fancy equipment.
No. It's just cool just to mentally shop for that stuff every so often. I would like to have a Kinect cam.
Yeah.
That, Chapel, he's on to something with that.
Oh, yeah.
It's interesting, the stuff that he's picked up.
That computer program that he has where it's got the stick figures that show the regular person, and then if there's a spirit, it actually shows the spirit in a stick figure.
Yeah.
That is a big step.
Yeah, that's the Kinect cam.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And at first, it used to be just stationary, static, but now he's made it to where you can take it anywhere.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to have one. I don't think he sells that, does he?
He does.
Oh, okay.
But it's about as much as a thermal because of the equipment. It comes with a touchpad, so you can see the screen. It comes with the software programmed into it. It comes with a camera, but all in one mount.
Oh, wow.
So you can carry it around with you everywhere you go. And the only problem with that, it doesn't record what you're seeing.
So you'd have to figure out a way of keeping a camera on it.
Yeah, you'd probably have to hook a GoPro up to it or something.
Well, it's like the expensive thermals. You have to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Another team here in Oklahoma has one of those thermals. And I was aggravated because I'm using it, and you spot something, you're thinking, it's not recording it. You have to keep a camera on it.
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to figure out how to make a tripod of some sort that'll hold both.
They do have thermals now, though, that you can record, that you put a chip into, but they're a lot more expensive naturally.
Yeah.
They do have FLIR, the company that makes the thermals, Actually has an attachment for the iPhone now.
Oh, wow.
Where you can turn your iPhone into a FLIR camera.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Because it puts the filter and everything on there, puts your iPhone in there, and then it just uses the camera as it shoots through the thermal filter and bounces that image back, and boom, you got yourself a handy little thermal camera.
Boy, that one episode of Bill Chappell when he filmed with that Kinect cam on that one investigator, and you could see the apparition manifesting, and it looked like it was crawling up the guy.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, how would you react to that?
Yeah.
I mean, this thing even went up on the ceiling.
Well, the whole time he's sitting there just feeling the energy from it, and they're just like, oh my God. And, I mean, if I would have seen that, if that's happening to me, oh dude, look at you, I would be freaking out.
Yeah, I would be totally freaking out.
Because, situations like that, you're like, oh wait, I'm seeing what this thing is doing.
Well, the question is now, can spirits and ghosts, can they levitate? You always heard stories about ghosts levitating through the air.
Yeah.
Is that proof of it?
Right.
Yeah, that just blew my mind, because you could see the stick figure on the ground and it looked like it crawled up him.
Yeah.
But they also showed it where it was up on the ceiling.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, what was up with that?
And at the same time, they saw a black mass on the ceiling.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
A lot of unanswered questions, and that's why it's paranormal. You just don't know. It's crazy.
It's good stuff, that's for sure. How about it? What's your opinion on that?
I always wanted to do this. Do a live podcast from a haunted location. A creepy haunted location. Can you bang on something? Can you hit something real and make a real loud noise for us? Negative response.
Negative.
I know people like watching those ghost hunter shows. They're like, boy, they got action all the time, and I'm listening to this podcast, and you guys aren't getting much of nothing. Hey, that's how it works.
This is the real thing. Sorry.
This is a real thing, folks. And just because we are not hearing nothing now, we can go back to our recorders and we may have got something.
Yeah.
We may have got an EVP or something like that. So you never know. Ugh. Allergies.
I have an idea before we wrap up. Let's take the audience on a walk through the bottom of this area.
Yeah, sounds good. Turn these meters off. We're going to walk around. We're having to carry backpacks around with us, folks.
You listen to us live, pack up. That's all far. That's another thing. It's you don't really get to see a lot of the TV shows, at least not anymore, is them tearing everything down. I mean, we brought the bare minimum, but man.
I'm gonna go ahead and turn my recorder off since you got one going.
Okay.
Recorder's going off at 5:11 p.m. All the noise you're hearing is just us packing up our equipment.
Getting our stuff together.
Oh, I got everything.
Alright, yeah, you're going to be hearing a crunching of our shoes. That's us walking, so. Alright, we're going to step out here into the hallway. Hello?
And we're going to be on the move. I still feel like I'm forgetting something. That's one of your biggest fears if you enter your equipment. You're afraid you're going to leave something behind.
Uh-huh.
So currently we're walking through this old basement, and I wish I could give you a visual of what we're seeing right now. There's debris on the floor. This old location used to, it was for people for the railroad, so there's quite a bit of historical stuff, antique stuff lying around.
Cobwebs.
The one thing I want to let the people know that's listening to the podcast, and now if you go to a haunted location, Adam just walked into a spider's web. When you go to a haunted location, make sure you leave it as nice or even nicer as you found it. 'Cause,
no matter the condition, that was me.
Yeah, don't leave your trash. Don't leave garbage behind. And don't take anything from the site unless you have permission to. If it's an abandoned location, it's kind of a little different story. That's why it's abandoned. No one wanted it. But on a spiritual sense, if you're got permission to take something, or if it's an abandoned location, you find something, on a spiritual level, you just want to make sure you sage it and cleanse it, in case there is some form of ghostly attachment to it. You don't want to take that home with you.
No, you never want to take anything like that home with you.
But you got to remember, folks, that you want to leave it be. Like this location, me and Adam, we're not going to take anything home with us.
No.
Because if I disturb the environment, it may change the paranormal activity in the building. And you never know. You slightly moving something will change the atmospheric condition. So if there's something residual, like a noise or a voice, that may stop because you move something.
Right. Little things like that, you always, want to move to debunk it as well.
I mean, I understand you're going to accidentally bump into something and it's going to move. That's understandable. That's not going to make a real big effect. But, I mean, like throwing stuff across the room. It's a big old spider or something. Oh, it's a cricket.
What say you, cricket? You got anything to say to the world? Whoa, I didn't think so. I don't have a windscreen on this, folks, so every time I move it around, you're going to hear it.
$36. I usually try to go over just because of, editing purposes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm probably just going to put this one up, my version up raw, just in case.
It's amazing. You start a podcast and you think you have something to talk about, and then you completely forget what you want to talk about.
Right.
It's a weird place for a string. They must have had a
trigger item.
Yeah.
It's one of those cool cameras we need.
Sure, pros will take all that stuff with them.
Yep.
Again, we are live at a haunted location. Yeah, we're kind of up on the wrap-up stage of it. Like I said, we've been here for several hours, and we just kind of started the podcast off late.
Yeah, this is definitely a fun place. Too bad we can't tell you about it. Oops.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you want to head upstairs?
Yeah, go ahead, and we're going to wrap-up mode. This is us heading upstairs.
I want to thank you for allowing us to be in here.
Yep, thank you as always.
The one thing I always I tell the newbies in the field is you don't know if the place is active or not and if there's spirits or not, but you always want to thank them for allowing you to be there. Because, they live there.
Yep, that's their home.
And you're visiting with them. So it's always nice to say thank you.
Just be polite.
Yeah, just be polite.
Just like you'd be in anybody else's house. Just go in there and be polite.
Now, what's cool with this location, folks, I wish I could tell you exactly where we're at, but there's like hidden doors.
Yeah.
I mean, into the concrete. This place has hidden passageways, and most of them have been sealed off. But one of the theories of this old town is that there were underground tunnels. So it makes you wonder: do these sealed up places go to underground rooms? And you never know what's in there.
Yeah.
Buried treasure, some gold. What spirits haunt down in these basements?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely a very, very cool location.
This old wall here looks like it was...
There's an old bench.
Yeah, it looks like it's original to the place.
Yep. Is that chalkboard? No, it's just regular wood.
Oh, it's painted. Pressed wood. Yeah, I know we don't really have a lot to talk about on this podcast. It was just something we kind of threw together. It was something that me and Adam always wanted to do. It's just to
take the audience along for a ghost
take
hunt.
the audience along for a ride.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm probably going to post mine raw. So if anything you hear, every little, pause and everything, if you hear anything, just let us know.
I'll probably edit mine where we're moving. Like just talking.
Yeah.
I think what's cool when you go to a haunted location, you're literally reaching beyond those borders into the unknown. It's like stepping back in time.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we throw our gear on, and I don't know if people are big, sci-fi people or whatever, but it feels like you go back in time and you're in this, like I said, we're in a building from the 1800s, and it feels like we just step through the door to another dimension, another world, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, all that original architecture and walls and doors that are still there. And
currently, right now, folks are staring at an old jail cell. The old bars are still up.
Yep.
But that just tweaked the audience attention. Like, where are you guys at?
Uh-huh.
You need to tell us where you're at. We want to go to this location. Again, folks, like I said, we can't tell you where we're at. It's just client privacy. But we just want to have you tag along. I'm going to go ahead and secure this door, because I think we got everything out of here.
Yeah, we're good.
Sure, if we forgot anything, we can always come back for it.
Well, Kale and I are about to be leaving, so if anybody has anything to say, go ahead and say it now, because once we're gone, we're gone.
Gone for good. Whoa. Thought I heard a voice.
Maybe?
Could be outside noise.
Yeah, there were kids over across the street playing.
Yeah, okay. Debunk. Like I said, folks, occasionally you'll hear something, and of course it's during the day, and there's people up during the day, so if you hear a voice, you can't immediately assume it's a ghost. It's more likely outside noise or some other logical reason. Check the time. 42.53.
That sounds about right.
Well, I think we're going to wrap up this podcast. Hopefully it was exciting for you. Hopefully we didn't bore you to death. This, like I said, is something we just threw together. We thought it'd be fun to have the audience tag along with us. So, tune in with us next time. This is Kale Epperson with Paranormal Investigations of Oklahoma.
This is Adam Stone. This could get weird.
And like I said, subscribe to my channel under Odo Taz for Paranormal Investigations of Oklahoma.
Subscribe to mine under Weird Podcast on YouTube, and like us on Facebook. This could get weird, and come hit us up on Twitter at Weird Podcast.
All right, folks. We'll talk to you later, and stay weird and stay paranormal.
Wasn't that cool? Yeah, that's kind of how we do our investigations with the group I'm with, and we do a lot of more debunking than we actually say, "Oh, that's a ghost," or "That's a ghost," or "That's paranormal." Yeah, that's how we do things. And like I said, if you heard anything, go ahead and let us know. And we'll get back to it, and maybe we'll post the findings. You listener have heard. But as always, thank you for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, and go over to Kale's page, his PIO podcast, Paranormal Investigations of Oklahoma, and give it a like over at Ototaz is what his is. And well, thanks again, and hope you enjoyed the show. And until next time, for Adam Blocher and Kale Epperson, I'm Adam Stone. And as always, stay weird.